There's a fleeting moment each morning before memory rushes in, before the mind reloads its to-do list, where everything is light, untouched, free. No burdens, no identity, just the simple act of being. In that space, nothing is claimed. Life is simply happening. But who is it happening to? We assume there's a looker behind the looking, an observer stationed somewhere within. But is that true? Or is seeing just unfolding, effortless and ownerless, like the sky holding clouds without grasping at them? Perhaps the sense of a separate self isn't as solid as it seems. Perhaps, in that first quiet moment of waking, we glimpse something deeper, the raw, unfiltered nature of awareness itself. A fascinating way to uncover the truth of seeing is to turn inward and investigate. Who is doing the looking? Look closely. Does a distinct looker actually exist? Or is seeing simply happening, effortless and unclaimed? There is no separate self behind the eyes, no owner of awareness. The act of seeing, thinking, or observing unfolds naturally, without a central doer pulling the strings. The mind, ever clever, overlays a sense of I onto this experience, convincing us that there must be someone behind it all. But what if this I is just a story, a mental habit, rather than a reality? The split between observer and observed, thinker and thought, doer and deed, these divisions feel real, yet are they anything more than ideas? When deeply examined, they dissolve like mist, revealing what has always been: a seamless, boundless awareness, needing no owner, simply existing as it is. When the idea of a separate looker dissolves, what is left? Just the act of seeing, pure, immediate, boundless. No observer standing apart, no subject watching an object. Only the effortless unfolding of experience free from division. Without the mental construct of a self to claim ownership, life moves as a singular, spontaneous flow. Awareness, limitless and unshaped, reveals itself as the only reality. Not contained within the body, not generated by the brain, but simply present. The mind struggles with this because it seeks a thing to grasp, a center to locate. But instead of searching for an observer, the shift happens in recognizing that observing is simply happening. No one is behind it. This inquiry into who is looking dissolves the one who asks. The answer is not another concept, but an absence, the absence of a separate self. And in that absence, something profound is realized. Looking is its own event, a dance of awareness without a dancer, a moment unfolding without a doer. The human experience feels anchored in a persistent I, a central figure around which thoughts, emotions, and actions seem to revolve. This I shapes our identities, fuels our relationships, and colors our understanding of the world. It feels solid, undeniable. But what if it isn't? What if this foundation we hold so tightly is nothing more than a mirage? A dream character, conjured by the mind, masking something far more profound. Many teachings point to this very illusion, suggesting that the I we defend and define is merely a mental construct, a fleeting story mistaken for truth. And if we dare to question it, to look beyond it, something remarkable is revealed, a vast, boundless awareness untouched by identity. An openness so free, so effortless, that it was here all along, hidden only by the illusion we were taught to believe. The false I, the ego, the identified self, is a creation of the mind. It is a web of thoughts, beliefs, and past experiences that we mistake for the essence of who we are. This false self is marked by certain characteristics. It convinces us that we are separate from everything and everyone, fueling feelings of loneliness and alienation. It confines us within the boundaries of what we think we can or cannot do, holding us hostage to narrow beliefs. It clings tightly to our identities, experiences, and beliefs, causing suffering when these things inevitably shift or fade away. It is always reaching, chasing after something more, success, validation, achievement, yet never fully satisfied, perpetually in a state of longing. But the false I is not our adversary. It's a misunderstanding, a narrative we have woven ourselves into, a role we unknowingly play in the grand play of life. The real problem arises when we forget this truth, that it is merely a story, and begin to believe it is the whole of who we are. The false I persists because it thrives in the absence of true investigation. We are so familiar with identifying ourselves through our thoughts and emotions that we rarely stop to question their validity. This lack of inquiry keeps the illusion alive, veiling our true nature in a cloak of misunderstanding. Non-investigation sustains the illusion. The illusion of being a separate body-mind is only maintained because we don't question it. Without close scrutiny, the I thought remains unchallenged, solidifying its false sense of permanence. The feeling of separation, the belief in being an isolated I, survives simply because it is never questioned. This imagined divide continues, unnoticed, because it hasn't been recognized for the illusion that it is. The me we cling to is just a surface appearance, a concept we assume to be true. When we trace this me to its source, we find it evaporates. It was never a real entity, just a mistaken assumption. Suffering and endless seeking persist because we fail to clearly see who we truly are. Only by understanding that the I as a separate being is a myth do we find freedom. When the false I is seen through, what remains is not a new self to be found or perceived, but the pure principle of being, awareness itself. There is no longer a separate entity, just the boundless, formless presence of existence. The good news is that the false I, being nothing more than an illusion, can be dissolved. Through direct experience and self-inquiry, we can unravel the illusion, and with consistent questioning, the truth can be revealed. One simple yet powerful question to ask is, who is looking? Often, the immediate answer will be, I. By exploring this question, we begin the process of self-inquiry. This method involves asking deep, fundamental questions about the nature of the I. Questions like, to whom does this experience arise? Who am I? What am I? Is this really true? And what am I assuming? Through relentless probing, we can follow the I to its source. As we do, we uncover that it isn't a solid, permanent entity, but simply a passing thought, dissolving the illusion. Direct looking is another powerful approach to self-inquiry. This involves turning your attention inward and examining your present experience. Instead of getting lost in mental constructs, focus on undeniable facts, such as the awareness that is witnessing all of this. This awareness is the unchanging essence of your being. By articulating your direct experience of awareness without relying on borrowed ideas or concepts, you stay grounded in what you truly perceive, discovering that you are this awareness, not the fluctuating thoughts and emotions. Trusting direct experience is essential in this journey. Instead of relying on external authorities or teachings, trust your own direct experience. What resonates with your inner truth? Follow the teachings and pointers that align with your intuition, those that ring true deep within you. The most rapid and direct means to eternal bliss is awareness watching awareness. By turning within, you will begin to trust yourself. Confidence in everything else will come with experience as the mind quiets and the search for fulfillment outside of yourself comes to an end. The final step in dissolving the false I is recognizing the futility of seeking. The search for something more is based on the illusion of separation and limitation. Once you recognize this, the search naturally dissolves, and you can stop searching for something to grasp. The mental search implodes when it's seen for what it is, a quest for something that doesn't exist outside of the mind. In this process, the illusion of the I unravels, and what remains is a boundless, effortless awareness, a peace that is always present, no longer obscured by the search for an identity or a self. By consistently applying methods like self-inquiry, keen observation, and direct looking, we begin to dissolve the dream of the false I, the sense of separation that feels so real, but in truth is nothing more than a mirage. As we do this, we awaken to the boundless awareness that has always been our true inheritance. It is this awareness, this unchanging presence, that has been quietly observing all along.